Hi and welcome to Knit with Hannah. I'm Hannah. Today I'm going to just take a look at what's happened in the last year on the Knit with Hannah channel here on YouTube and indeed on Knit with Hannah everywhere else as well. Hi and welcome to Knit with Hannah. I'm Hannah. I'm here with Knitting Natter to help you. Wrong one. Hi. Hi and welcome to Knit with Hannah. I'm Hannah. I'm here with Knitting Natter to... Hi and welcome to Knit with Hannah. Hi and welcome to Knit with Hannah. I'm Hannah. I'm here with Knitting Natter to help you learn to knit the easy way. Why did I stumble on saying my name there? I do know what my name is. Yes, I'm Hannah. I'm here with Knitting Natter to help you learn to knit the easy way. Right, so let's just have a bit of a rewind. What happened in 2020 where Knit with Hannah is involved? I'm not going to mention everything else. Oh my goodness. We've had quite a year. In some ways, even though it has been really a year where we've had to kind of go inwards and look at ourselves and say, what's going on? How can we help change the world? How can we be good for the world? And how can we come together, even though we're not allowed to come together anymore? And in that respect, I feel that this year has been quite positive. But also, yes, we've had a difficult year. We've had a very difficult year. But let's just look at it with Hannah at the moment. I want to say thank you so much. This time last year, I had 3,000 subscribers, almost. It was kind of plodding every day. And now, my goal for this year was to say, can I possibly reach 10,000 by the end of December? I reached 10,000 on the 1st of November, and I was blown away. I am so happy to welcome you into the Knit with Hannah world. I never imagined that by starting a YouTube channel I would reach so many people and be able to help so many people with their knitting journey. I just love knitting and it's been part of my world for so long, so much part of my life, and I love being able to support other people and embrace that with them too, and I want to embrace that with you. So thank you so much for being here, so much for watching, so much for being there every single week when I upload a new video and you see the new video, you watch it, you click on the like button and you say, yes, I enjoyed this, it was really helpful, thank you Hannah. So I'm so happy to welcome you. I can thank you and I will thank you, and yes, thank you so much for being here. So all of that out of the way, I want to tell you which 2020 videos you've loved. So the last couple of years I have done a YouTube rewind and I've just done the top 10 videos for 2018, top 20 videos for 2019, and what's happened is that basically we're repeating ourselves. I'm repeating myself because inevitably the videos that really hit home and really you absolutely love do keep being loved every year, every year, every year, and they are in the top 10. Other videos are making their way into the top 10 as well. They're not quite there yet, but I want to tell you which 2020 videos are really hitting home to you and really pointing something out to me that you desperately need. First things first, early on in the year, I did 2 videos that you actually just grabbed hold of and said, yes, please. First of all, what to knit in isolation. What to knit in isolation I made when I didn't even know we were going to call it lockdown. So lockdown has become the word. So I think I might even have changed the description title so that now everyone knows what I mean. Knitting in isolation doesn't mean you're only allowed to knit these things when you are stuck in a room by yourself. Maybe you're shielding, but you've basically got coronavirus and you can't do anything. You can't meet anyone or go outside the room. That's not what I meant. Knitting in lockdown, when you can't get out to knitting shops, you can't get out to knit with other people. So you loved that video. It was really helpful at the time, and I don't think it will go on to be an absolute hit year after year after year because it's made for the time. So I'm so pleased that was helpful for you when you needed it. It was helpful for me because I actually had to sit down and think about why I was saying these things and how it would also help me. So it really did help me, and I'm so pleased that it helped you as well. The other thing that I released at that time, I was just going to do that video anyway. Coronavirus happened, but I created this video no matter what. It was what to knit with leftovers. So this went wild. You absolutely loved it. And actually people are still watching this. Knitters are still picking this up and going, I need that. I need that. So leftovers is something that knitters just have. And like it or not, we might knit something and there's a bit of yarn left. We knit something else, there's a bit of yarn left. So what can we do with those leftovers? I've been knitting mitts and cuffs and little things for the shop in the last few weeks, and all of a sudden I've got these like 20 grams of yarn left over. Maybe it's even just 10 or 15 grams left over, and I'm thinking, oh, I need to put those together and knit something with them. So watch out, I may well be doing something with those. But they are great for knitting up samples. They're great for all sorts of things. Knitting squares for blankets, that kind of thing. Stripes, socks, all sorts. Get your imagination going and really get some ideas. And if you want some leftover ideas, then go and watch that video. That was a hit and it's still being watched. I'm really thrilled that that's really taken on a life of its own and is going on up the charts, as we used to say in Top of the Pops 1980s. Now then, so what else? Yarn facts were quite interesting. The worsted yarn video, well, that's just gone crazy. You are loving that video, and I get some great comments on there as well, because I had to research some of that. I knew it, but just to get the words, just to get the details correct, I had to get all my old reference knitting books out and find them in the depths of the cupboard. It's right over there, I'm pointing at it. And yeah, so just read all that again, research it and go, yeah, oh, it's such an interesting word. And why is it used? And I'm actually reading a knitting book at the moment. I'll leave the link in the description below. I wish I could remember its name. It's by an Edinburgh knitter, and I went and got it. So this Golden Fleece by Esther Rutter. I read this, my sister gave it to me for Christmas last year, and I picked it up again and I thought, I'm just going to read it again. She got me the signed copy because my sister lives in Edinburgh, so she found that in the Edinburgh bookshop. But it's a lovely book, and I've just been reading this, and we use old words in this book as well. So it really is a great read. And I must say it inspired me to really dive into the real truth behind some of the knitting words that we use. And worsted yarn is one of those words. Why do we use that word and what does it mean? Go and have a look at that if you're ever curious, because it's just something that knitters just kind of use. Oh, it's the thickness of the yarn, but it means other things as well. So do go and have a look at that if you're curious. I will link all of the videos that I'm mentioning, by the way, in the description below. You also really loved those demo videos. I know when I release the demo videos, they are so specific that only a small number of people from the subscriber list will actually watch them. So if you're a subscriber out there and you go, oh crikey, not another one of them, but I know you come back to them because you know I've made those videos, and that's what I want. I want to be here for you when you're reading a pattern and you go, oh shucks, can't do that, what does it mean? You can come back to these videos because you know they're here. So purl 2 together through back loop, and I had 2 methods for you for doing that, and I sneaked in one because I was doing that and I was thinking, this is silly, why do people do it like this? And I thought, how can I just make it look better? So I did, and that means that I've got the second method there that I feel looks better, feels better, and is easier to create. So go and watch that. If ever you need a purl 2 together through back loop, that will really help you. Also, I'm just reading my notes. Wrap and turn on a purl row. I did wrap and turn on a knit row 2019, and that just blew everyone away. It blew me away how popular it was. And then in the comments I kept getting, can you show us how to do this on a Purl row, please? And I just kept saying, we'll do the same thing, but do this instead. So I said, right, that's enough. I'm creating the video for the Purl row wrap and turn as well. And that's really helped you. It's all about short rows. It's creating a shape when you're knitting. It's the kind of thing you'll find in a teddy bear pattern or in a shawl pattern. So you just create a fringe, something like that. But it's a useful technique to know, and you can just pick it up when you need it. Also, picking up stitches. I filmed this for the first time when someone in the membership asked for it, and they just had it in there. It's about 20 minutes long. But I just edited it a bit and cut it down a bit so that you've got it as a YouTube video now. And you seem to love it. Again, people are watching it, people are coming back to it when you need it. How to pick up stitches. It might be a button band on a cardigan or part of a collar, something like that. So it's in the patterns and you need it when you need it. Don't necessarily need it when I release it on a Tuesday and you go, oh, it's one of them again. Why would I watch that? Well, when you need it, it's there for you. I hope you recognise that. I'm sure you do. So what else? Well, a couple of videos that I wasn't actually expecting. Add a new ball of yarn. It's a beginner's technique. You're knitting and you run out of yarn because the ball's finished. So you need to add a new ball. So how do you do that? And where do you do that? And what part of the row do you do it on? I showed you how to do this, showed you how I do it and how I make it easy for myself. There are so many different ways of doing this, and there are so many videos out there showing you different ways of doing it. So I showed you the 3 methods that I've used over my lifetime, and I hope I've made it easy for you and you can just carry on knitting. The next one is adding stitches to the end of a row. I didn't realise this would be so popular, but again, it's just something that appears in the pattern and you go, what are you talking about? How do I do that? So it's just there for you when you need it to pick up on that technique. If you want to add stitches to the end of a row because the pattern tells you to, it's there for you. So those are the YouTube videos this year that have just taken off and have been really well received by you. I've enjoyed making all of these videos that I've made that I've released this year. Thank you so much for being here and for watching them. I do just want to mention one thing. YouTube is changing how it does adverts on videos. You don't have a choice now. There has to be videos, there has to be adverts on videos. I do make money when you click on a video, so I wouldn't be able to create this channel and keep it going if I didn't have money from the adverts. But any channel now, as long as it's not a kids video, will have adverts on the video, whether the creator is taking money from it or not. So watching the advert and clicking on it is really helpful. You don't have to click on it, I don't mind. But yeah, just sitting through it and watching the advert can be really helpful. And thank you so much for being there and accepting that that's part of YouTube. There is one more YouTube video I would like to mention, and that is knitting basics for beginners. This has just been sitting there and sitting there for the last 2 years actually. For 18 months it didn't really do much. I released it in January 2019, and then all of a sudden in August, September this year, it started to get more views and more views and more views, and now it is just being seen by so many people, and it's drawing more people into Knit with Hannah channel. So do share that with friends. I know it's a good video. I made it so that it was a good video. I put a really great deal of thought into that when I created it. So it just is how to cast on for beginners, along with how to do the knit stitch. And it just means that you can start knitting. And for this time of year, people will start knitting. They may get a knitting kit for Christmas. They may get knitting needles and yarn for Christmas and not know what to start with. So they may also have a New Year's resolution and they want to start knitting. So do send them over to that video if they want to start knitting, because it's a great place to start. It is the very simple strategy. Cast on and knit. That's it. And then of course there's what to knit for beginners as well. That's from last year too. That's been going crazy since last year, so it's nothing new there. But it just gives you lots of ideas about what you can knit if you're a beginner knitter. So if you're a beginner knitter and you're here for the first time, then go and watch that as well. And of course, that is ideal to send to anyone who's just starting to knit too. Now then, how did the rest of Knit with Hannah go this year? With the coronavirus, I was just very, very cautious. You probably know, I've mentioned it a few times, I have a couple of long-term health conditions, so I have to be careful anyway. If I get a virus or an infection or something, it takes me a long time to recover afterwards, probably twice as long as a normal person, someone with good health would take to recover. So I just knew I had to be very cautious and very careful. So I was careful, I didn't go outside, I was shielding for 12 weeks, and then I've just been very careful and not really left the house ever since. We've been out to take photos, and that's been lovely. We've actually found a new place to take photographs, much nearer to home than we were going before. It was so quiet there, possibly because so few people were out and about anyway. But yes, lovely new place to take photographs, really achieved some great stuff with that. And the reason we were taking photographs is, of course, with a new knitting shop. So I decided in the summer to start selling things, actually to put in a parcel and put in the post. So we started creating knitting kits, started selling yarn, needles, accessories and all that sort of thing. Knitting kits, I wanted to start doing yarn subscription boxes. Okay, that's all I'd need to do. Once a month, make up all of these subscription boxes and just send them out. And did a survey to find out what you'd want in a yarn subscription box. My goodness, did you all want different things? So I thought, I probably need a larger audience so that by the time I start this, then there will be more people who want each option. So I knew if I did 4 different options, there'd probably be only a few people buying each one. So it would make it kind of difficult for me. So yeah, yarn subscription box will come at some point, but not now. So the knitting kits are, want to make something up, comes with a leaflet, get the yarn and needles to go with it, all in a kit, and it can be delivered to your house. And I'm also selling the digital patterns for the same items on that shop as well. Because for now, with the coronavirus restrictions, we can only send to specific places in the UK and Europe. Don't want to go internationally because post is taking longer. A friend of mine started selling something in the post this summer, and it took an age for things to get across America and to Australia, and I thought, let's just take it as it comes and start with the UK and Europe. As things open up, we will start to expand that reach. The other things you will know very probably that I sell digital e-courses. So you've got a course online, it's just full of videos, and you can learn to knit through those courses. So the 2 main courses that have hit the spot this year that you've really loved have been a brand new course, Pattern Writing Made Easy. If you want to start writing your patterns, you can start. You can feel that it's an easier option than you might have thought. I started writing knitting patterns when I couldn't find what I needed. I was looking for cable hats, cable berets, and I couldn't really find a pattern that really suited what I wanted. So I thought, I know how to knit a hat, I know how to knit a beret, why don't I just make a pattern for myself? I started, I had to trial and error a few times, but it worked. In the end, it was fine. I thought, you know what, I've made this pattern myself, why don't I sell some of the items as well? Before then, I'd been using patterns that someone else had written and I was allowed to sell from them. And it just made me feel that it wasn't my own work. I wanted to be doing something that was all really authentically me. So I wanted to write my own patterns if I ever sold anything else. And it worked for me in that way, in that respect. So possibly this new business, the Knit with Hannah, wouldn't have felt so easy if I hadn't done it all those years ago as well, with writing my own patterns too. So that's one of the biggest courses this year, Pattern Writing Made Easy. Lots of you in there starting to write your own patterns. So the next course that's really sparked your attention this year is the cable knitting course, and that is Crafty Cables. It's a cable knitting for beginners, very first stages of cable knitting. If you want to knit with me step by step, video by video, through cable knitting patterns and really get tuition, all of the tips I give you as I'm knitting and as you're knitting through 4 different items with some bonus patterns as well, then that's an ideal course for you. We knit through 4 different items. That is a mug cozy, a headband, a pair of fingerless mitts and a hat, and they all have different forms of cables on them. So that's Knit with Hannah from 2020. So much has happened, and I feel like this year has just flown by, and in so many other ways it's taken a long time as well. So I want to give a big thank you to you, a big hug. Thank you so much for being here, for watching, and if you've watched all this all the way through, then a big thank you as well. I do like rambling. I would probably ramble more in my videos if I felt that it was possible. But yes, that's one other thing I wanted to ask you. Would you like longer videos on YouTube? That's something I've been considering. As the channel grows, I know it's a possibility because people there will be ready and willing to watch longer videos. Is that something you would like? I could do more, not a vlog style. I do not want to vlog my life, no thank you very much, but I could actually chat about things as I have done today in not necessarily a review style, but even tutorials taking you right the way through knitting something like that, like a knit along, that kind of thing, and even longer tutorials taking you through a knit along over say 3 or 4 weeks. Would you be interested in that kind of video? Would longer videos be appreciated on this channel? Right, do let me know in the comments, and let me know in the comments as well which Knit with Hannah video has been your favourite this year. I'd really love to know. Thanks so much for being here, and I will see you again soon. I'll be back next week. It'll be the 29th then, almost into the new year. I will see you for that. Do subscribe. I'm sure you're subscribed already. Why would you be watching this if you weren't? And click on the bell for notifications. If you haven't clicked on the bell yet, then do that, because then YouTube will let you know whenever there's a new video. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. Thanks so much for being here. Bye for now. Happy knitting and happy Christmas. This placemat, I blocked it, and move the camera like that. And then this Christmas 2020, the last posting date is February 18th. That sounds strange. Why would February be the posting date for Christmas? Right, in this tutorial I'm also going to show you how you can knit butterfly stitch on single pointed needles, so going backwards and forwards over the row rather than only round in one direction. And saying one direction always makes me think of the band.
Hey, Fox! Oh, you're doing this one?
Okay, those are the kind of ideas that those are the kind of categories. Yes, cats do a lot of knitting. Those are the kind